Hey guys, RTC back here for another video. Guys, today we get my honest review of the Surface Duo 2's Otterbox case after 3 weeks of owning it, because I'm gonna tell you right now, my initial opinion, you guys saw my initial video, I absolutely ripped this thing to shreds. I said this thing was just cheaply made, it didn't feel good, it didn't feel like correctly, and since then, in my last 2 reviews, I have literally changed my opinion completely. And I cannot tell you how much I have changed my opinion. Now, since I have gone back to this as my daily driver, because for the longest time, for 30 days, as you guys know, my daily driver was the Surface Duo 1 because of the Android 11 update. I wanted to go ahead and give it another shot, see how I liked it, and we did a whole entire series on that. Well, now we are back to this phone right here, the Surface Duo 2. I was kind of deciding if I want to go to the Z Fold 3 again. I do love the Z Fold 3, but you know what I decided? It's February, only March. Let's go back to the Duo 2. And I forgot how much I love this case right here. The reason why I love this case so much is because not only, yes, the Duo 2 is so much heavier than the Duo 1. That's an honest fact. You look at this phone right here and you feel these two phones in your hand. This feels like 10 times heavier than the Duo 1. But it's just how structured it makes this phone. How it makes it feel like it goes from a phone that, okay, I could break this, I gotta be careful, not baby it, but I gotta be a little bit more, delicate with it, to this thing is a freaking rock now. And I don't know how they made it so good, but it feels so bad when you put it on. When you put it on, it feels so bad. Now, another thing I was kind of curious about was when I go ahead and do like this, right? So the way you take this case off, by the way, is you have to keep shaking it like crazy like this, and eventually it slides out. You actually want to open it up before you do that. Just like that, as you guys can see, it just starts sliding out. Now, I thought that was going to be an issue. I honestly did. I thought when I went ahead and, started using this more, that I would see that being an issue. Now, reality-wise, it should never be an issue unless you're holding your phone like this or like this, because, most of the time you're holding it like this, or you're holding it in the phone mode, or you're holding it just in regular mode. But if you are going to try to use the peak display, which you guys do not know what the peak display is, it's when you open up the phone just a tad bit like this, and that's when you see the little peak display. I don't know how many people actually use that. It's more usable than the glance display, but again, like I said, it's one of those things where it's like how much you actually going to use that. If you do use that, then yes, if you randomly start shaking your phone, it could fly out of this actual cover, but 99% of people who are using this will never have that happen. There will be that 1% though that says, "Oh, my phone fell out of the case." But with that being said, though, the coverage on the camera, I told you guys before, I dropped this phone 4 times now. 4 times. This Duo 1 I had for a year and a half. I never dropped it. Duo 2, I dropped this 4 times with this case on, not without this case on. Without this case, I didn't drop it any time. With this case on, I dropped 4 times. And the reason why, I didn't do it on purpose, obviously, but I just feel so much more safe with this case. I feel like I don't have to worry about it breaking. And yes, $90 is how much this bad boy will cost you. Is it worth the money? And that's all a lot of people comment down below and saying, listen, it's not worth the money. It would be better at $60 or $50. And I do agree with that. But there are also ideas you look at where this is 2 cases in one. So it does connect bottom top, but these are technically 2 cases in one. And because of that, you kind of get the upcharge. You kind of get the worth your money, where you spend a little bit more money because of the fact that it is 2 cases in one. And I will say another thing, because this is another thing that I'm kind of okay with, but not a little bit, is the plastic display inside. So obviously you can't remove the plastic display because you literally have it there for a purpose, and the purpose is to go ahead and keep the actual case together. The plastic display inside is actually what's keeping the phone in there. Yes, there is this, outside range where you go ahead and actually slide the phone in, but other than that, bam, this is all keeping in for the plastic display. Now, I will say the plastic display, it still feels good. It does fingerprint a lot, so if you are going to pick up this phone, you might want to, this case, you might want to go ahead and get a microfiber cloth, clean it up a little bit. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, It's a different plastic display feel-wise, obviously, than the Z Fold 3. So if you ever rocked the Z Fold 3, you already know it's a different display completely. And what I mean by that is the feel of it. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, obviously, that's a thin layer of glass. This is actually plastic. But what I mean by that is the Z Fold 3, when it fingerprints, you can easily wipe it off, no issue at all, and it completely looks like new. You're never going to make this look like new. And when I got this case, there was actually a little bit of a dent in the display. The actual plastic had a dent in it. And based on what I've seen, that is common. So again, if you buy this case, understand you're probably not going to get 1,000%, case-wise. It might be a little bit dent in something. It might not be perfect. And I know when you spend $90, you want it to be perfect. But you got to also look at the fact of, this is the only really option on the market, / it is going to protect your phone. And that's the biggest thing, man. $1,600 for this phone. You got to protect it at all costs. And I will say overall wise, I mean, I've rated this a 6 out of 10, a 7 out of 10. I'm going to go up to an 8 out of 10. And I really just think I'm going to keep going up more and more because I forget how much I love this case. When I went to the Surface Duo 1 for a month, I rocked the pen cover on front and the bumper on back. And that was great. I liked it. I thought it was really good and it really got the job done. But you don't really understand true protection of these devices until you get this out of box. That's when you start really realizing it. Now for the fingerprint reader, I've gotten better at using the fingerprint reader. It's still not perfect. It still has its issues. I know I got so many comments down below saying, oh, the fingerprint reader, not 100% with this case. Not me. Just not me. Doesn't work all the time with me. Every other button works perfectly fine. The bottom one here, I am getting more used to it. That you had to just pop it out just like that to get the charging port. I do like that because of water protection. But other than that, though, this case is amazing. Case is amazing. I think it's worth the $90. I think it's expensive, but it's going to protect a $1,600 investment. And that's all that really matters in the end. So, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Would you pick up this case? Have you picked up this case? If you have, what do you think of it? I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.